With La Prensa, and we're here with Manuel Jimenez. And you said you were running for what now?
Travis County Constable Precinct 4.
Okay, great. And what brings you out to this event today?
Just to support Metz Pool staying open, so kids can have something to do during the summertime, so they don't get into any trouble or any mischief. I think the more opportunities they have, to have activities, the better to keep them out of trouble.
And how do you feel about the city delaying wanting to open the Metz Pool?
Well, I think we need to find out what's going on. What's the reason for the delay, and we'll just have more questions answered to find out what's going on.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. It's a newspaper, and we're here with Rick Luna, and he just brought something very interesting to my attention. Rick Luna, could you just please repeat what you just told me? There was a renovation done to this pool?
Yeah, on 2013.
2013, there was a renovation done at Metz Pool?
Yes.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, right here.
So then it would be odd that there would be
A leak.
A leak
Yeah,
when renovations were done in 2013.
correct.
Thank you so much for your contribution to La Prensa.
No, you're welcome.
I'm going to just explain to you an email that I received from Ms. Kimberly, and I want to read it to you, Gato. In an effort to keep you and the community informed, this is a press release and the link to the 2015 pool schedule that was posted today. Metz and Mabel Davis are shown as booked. Let me go ahead and move forward with my questions I have scheduled.
And what I would like to say is that a lot of these kids, they don't have the swimming pool open. A lot of them going to get in trouble because we need them for them to have fun. A lot of them may have, a way how to go to vacations or anything. The swimming pools are vacation. Yes. It's not right to treat our neighborhood like that because a lot of these people, just hard-working people, a lot of them that are working, the parents school that are working, the kids come spend their time here in the swimming pool. And I see them come from some of these projects and the showers, they'll come walking just to come swimming, to spend the day there. The weekends, people have fun here with families and everything. I think it's not right for people just to close it down like that, And we gotta stand for this because they can't be doing this to us. I feel like they're just stepping on us and that's it. Everybody here that care about this and that we can unite and do something about it. And I'm ready to do anything I have to do to keep the swimming pool open because it's only right for the kids to have a good time this summer. Thank you.
Real sad to hear that Metz was closed, and I went to those meetings about the master plan, what are you going to do this area? The other thing is, these decisions being made, Steve Adler promised that these major decisions like closing the pool and other things, which is a major, that stuff is going to stop. We're going to have committees, and then we're going to take this to a committee to have that communication before these decisions. And these decisions being made, I hope that after Steve Adler gets this all together, that we can have this committee and major decisions like that can be discussed to the community before they're.
Well, how come your boss is not here? That's what we paid.
Well, I'm here as a representative of the Parks and Recreation.
We understand that. So you have the right to say to open or close. That's your job, right? You can say,
I am part of the decision-making team, just as all of you here giving me feedback are part of the decision-making team. I'm hearing you loud and clear. And so if you're at that.
I grew up in this neighborhood. My grandparents came here to East Austin in 1947. We've got 5 generations of family members that have been in this neighborhood. We've got 5 generations that have used that pool. We've all learned how to swim at that pool. My thing is, I don't understand why all of a sudden we're going to shut it down from one minute to the next. If the pool was needing maintenance over the years, why didn't we keep it maintained over the years? Why didn't we have people coming every month to inspect our pool and say, hey, look, you've got a leak. This leak just didn't come It's been there for many years, but no one's bothered to come and fix it. I feel like our center, our neighborhood always gets put in the back burner. Everyone else comes first, we come last. Whatever else anybody else needs, we get the leftovers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're the redhead section. I read in the newspaper the other day that tens of thousands of dollars are being spent to get lifeguards. Why aren't tens of thousands of dollars being spent to fix my pool here? We're spending money on these bike lanes. For parallel parking. What's the use of parallel? Back up and park. I don't understand that. All that money, the pool. Once again, the pool and the rec center. This is a neighborhood center, and it needs to be used as a neighborhood center. I grew up here. I do not want to leave my pool. Okay? Another thing is the money-wise, and we talked about this. The gentleman was talking about the West Austin Association. We started off paying $10 fees here for sports, for kids things. Anything that's having to do with families and kids, City of Austin Parks and Recreation is cutting the programs. $10 fees, $20 fees for activities. We're at $36 fees right now, and we're still getting the $1.99 medal and the $1.99 t-shirt for $36. Where's that money going to? We don't know where that money's going to at all. Besides, that goes back to the pool. Summer camp. Summer camp is coming up. We haven't had a successful summer camp program here for many years because of the pool. A lot of City of Austin workers put their kids in summer camp here because of the pool. They get vouchers. They get free vouchers for free summer campers. You want to shut down the pool right before summer camp starts? That means we're not going to have no kids here. What do we need a center if we don't have no kids? I feel like we're just trying to shut down the center altogether. Little by little, y'all are cutting down things. Kids programs, kids youth programs, flag football, everything is getting cut little by little. Now the pool. So eventually the center will shut down. Well, what do y'all need the center for? Y'all don't have nothing else there.
Thank you.
Yeah, my question was, what's the point in closing the pool, and what are you going to plan on doing with it when you do take it out? I've seen houses around here in this neighborhood, and brandly built, but they're small, like 2 bedrooms maybe, and they're selling for $2,000 a month, and no one's buying them there. They've been here for many years, just sitting there. No one's bought them to bother come look at them. So if you're going to close down the pool, are you going to just turn them into houses and raise that money more?
What I wanted to say was that Metz is very important, but this is the first step in taking over Chicano Park. Edward and Juan III Chicano Park is going to be transitioned into something else if we don't stand up and fight for it. This is the first fight. We got a bunch of them still. So I'm glad to see all of you here. Yes, it's power that makes it going, and the city council, we need to go talk to the mayor and talk to Theo.
Yeah, that's right.
A few questions. You talked about like not blaming the board members. We want to know exactly that who was the one who made the decision, because I haven't seen that. Also, I did see somewhere that it was going to be closed for just this summer, or then how long, or what is it supposed to be just be closed for this summer? I want to know how long. And then I wanted to piggyback back off of the things. The summer camp is another big concern. She came to just like a drop-in program, and they walked over to Martin Pool in the heat, and I was like, that is a long walk for 5, 6, 7-year-olds, even. And I was very concerned. I was like, no, I'm not gonna have her walk there anymore. And if they have summer camp here, they don't have this pool open, there's not funds to have buses or to have all the vans to take them there daily. And I wouldn't want those kids to be walking over there, and it's just, and yeah, I think the summer
degree temperature.
Right, I think the summer camp would definitely suffer if that were to happen. Also, shade is a big concern of why we choose this pool over Martin, because with the heat, you know, how our summers get, I mean, this pool is really prime because of the shade. I love that it has the 2 feet and everything over for my lure one, but I mean, nothing really beats the shade in the 100-degree weather, so that's another big concern to me.
We should be adding activities for kids to do, not taking away activities. Like the pastor said, I mean, if you take away activities, they're going to get into trouble. They're going to, you know, seek other things out. So I just wanted to voice that concern and piggyback on what the pastor said.
Metz is my pool. Metz, I have 2 children. They're 11 and 14, and they've been coming to Metz. We never went to Martin because of the shade. Metz is the quaint neighborhood pool. I volunteered for the Parks Board. I know that there were only 2 Parks Board members from East Austin, east of the highway. I volunteered for the Parks Board when Susanna ran for council, and she, recommended me for the board seat. So I joined the Parks Board so that I could kind of get advance notice or find out what was going on in East Austin before it happens, so that I could help. But that's not always the case. I have not been, I'm relatively new to the Parks Board, so I haven't seen the Parks budget. I haven't been involved in the budget, but I intend to be involved in the budget. I think if you look at cities around the country, I think that other cities are doing a lot to make more active uses and more things for people to do in their park system. And I think there's all kinds of potential to increase uses without draining the budget through a number of things, conservancies, public-private partnerships. So that's what I want to work on.
So it's real easy for them to throw out a date, so just be warned. It sounds real nice, but it doesn't always end up that way.
Right.
Another thing, Martin Pool. Hello? Just want to make sure.
May I respond to that? Because I never said June 4th. This department never said June 4th. Somebody in our community went out and spoke to a contractor. Okay, you went out and spoke to the contractor, and the contractor said June 4th. And in the beginning of this meeting, I publicly said I cannot commit to that date because I don't know exactly what is wrong with the swimming pool. And I asked for grace and for a little bit of time to come back to the community to provide some better information about a date that would be more appropriate. So I just want to let you know, I never said June 4th.
Okay, then let me back that up then. How about you make sure that you give them a date that's feasible before the summer even starts? Because our kids need to know where they're supposed to be. Martin Pool, if that's supposed to be an alternative, whether you keep the pool open this year at Metz and close it next year for repairs, if Martin is the only alternative, then why is it being rented out for all these private parties? Where is that funding going to? Is it going to the general fund? I keep hearing there's no money to fix this pool. I talked to Cora from Parks and Recreation, and you can tell her I put her name out there, and she told me you couldn't pull any money from the Holly Master Plan money. And I know that's a lie because along with Bertha and everybody else, I was there from day one. I know that money's there. So if there's money to build a nice new amusement park up in Northwest Infield Pool, and all the 5 pools within a 2-mile radius of each other, why, and I heard you testify, well, the community came and asked, they wanted all these amenities. Well, our community would just like some water they can jump into. Before you go saying, hey, what do you guys want over here? And decide you're going to spend millions of dollars to make it nice and pretty, you might want to ask the rest of the community how they feel about that. Because that wasn't just their money that was spent. That was my money too, and nobody asked me if I was okay with them having an amusement park. These pools are community benefit. They're not used to be made money out of. You make the money more quality, you don't see any of that. But like I said, Martin Pool, where's the money going to? Where is that money at? Why is this pool gone without repairs? So I want some accountability for that, and I've already put an open records request to find out where that funding is going to. And if it's into the general fund, that money needs to be funneled into this Metz Pool repair so we don't have to use the Holly money. So our elders don't have to go without a sidewalk they need. Our kids don't have to go without a shade cover over the playground. And then I have one last thing to add. This meeting that we're having today, I saw a town hall meeting. And I assumed it was the city of Austin that called it. And when I got here, I was very surprised, like, hey, Bertha put it off, and good job. Got a lot of good turnout.
My concern is very big because in the last city council meeting, at the committee meeting, we heard you and other staff members saying, well, we're not going to make any big decisions about closure until we have a public meeting. We get public input. I implore you, do not consider this your public input because you need to have your own meeting and don't try to cut us off on the end like we're always getting cut off. And I know right now you're shaking your head, but all this right here, it always comes to fruition. We always get slapped on the back of the head. And that's not going to happen this time. And I'm here to tell you right now, me along with Bertha and other people will be right there at your door making sure it doesn't.
There has been one leak found. We have some more work to do to see if there's additional.
Stacy Pool, Big Stacy, Barrio Springs, Deep Eddy, 3 schools all within 5 miles of each other have been open for decades. West of Austin. No one has said it yet, but it's the equity issue. East of 35 has suffered. Quality of life issues, infrastructure issues. You have all what they said earlier about the bike lanes. We're getting them now over here simply because of the gentrification. Where were they way back when people rode their bikes out of necessity? Not out of recreation, not for fitness. They've got a multi-million-dollar boardwalk over there so people don't have to use the sidewalks. Over in my neighborhood, I'm fighting for the city to put sidewalks on Airport Boulevard for people just to get to work or to get toward Go Valley School. Okay, these pools need to be open, but the bigger picture, east of 35, we need a year-round pool swimming facility.
Yes.
Year-round.
Tearing this down and they're going to make that a park, right? So you're saying that a lot of people are not coming to our pool now. What are you going to do when there's a lot of people coming to this park and they see the pool, they want to come swimming? You're going to send all of them people to Metz? Because since it's going to be a park, Martin, I'm sorry, since it's going to be a park, it's going to be people from all over Austin coming to this park, right here, right in this neighborhood, that are not going to come on a regular basis. So your 11,000 people that came last year is going to turn into 50,000 people, 60,000 people, 70,000 people. We're not all going to fit in Martin's pool. So what are you going to do then? Are you going to reopen the pool? Or you should just leave it open now so that way people know that it's there? Because I mean, I'm just asking.
During the open spaces meeting, you explained that there were billboards rented and that a program with LBJ and Reagan High Schools were the main effort of the hiring plan. When did that process begin? That's the question I have for her. What is the number of people in the program at LBJ and Reagan? Have any of them completed their lifeguard training? I'll give you a copy of this, by the way, so you all can write it. What level of capacity have they reached regarding lifeguard work? There was also a news report that, from Kimberly speaking that Metz Pool would definitely be closed this summer. This was just after the open space meeting. Yesterday there were construction workers with equipment at Metz Pool. Today there is 2. We asked what they were doing and the explanation was that the pool was being repaired and would be open later at the end of the summer. What is that about? Is that true? Why wasn't there any communication that was done to the community, to Metz Recreation, to the neighbors? And who is responsible for the communication barrier? Community understanding is that Metz Pool was under the Evergreen-Don Holly Shores Master Plan that had been adopted on 8/28/2014. In the meeting process, the Park Department never pointed out that there was emergency repairs and that Metz Pool needed to be repaired. We have witnesses that sat in that work session with City Parks Department. The bond funding of 2006, there was an analysis done on all the pools and knew of these repairs that are needed. So this was a problem that had been going on for 16, even longer. We want to know why those repairs weren't done then, besides the pool liner, and we want to know what happened to the money that was left over for Metz. Why was there another assessment done in 2014, and why is the same information still filtered from 2006 to 2014, a decade later? another questions I have for you, and in that packet, in the binder, you'll see that the schedule for Martin has a very limited schedule. You all say that Martin is a alternative pool for us to use. But if you look at the Martin schedule, and everyone has it, Martin is closed most of the time for private swim meets or lifeguard trainings or even private parties. So therefore, how much time do our kids really get to utilize that for recreational water use? And basically, my questions remain the same as far as the fact sheet that was put out in 2014. It showed that the critical pools were Gillis, Gibbons, Bow Valley, Metopolis, Northwest, Shite, and Civinton. Metz is not on here. It's not on here last year. So we don't understand why Metz is such a critical pool to close right before the summer season. And those are the questions I have. You can look at the budgets, you can look at all the documentation that's online and open records, and it shows that Metz is not in the condition that people are saying it is. And that's all I have to say.
I do want to say to the community that we did hear you loud and clear. We've heard the community, and we heard you say how important that your pool is. You know, the department was taking a look at their entire system, their entire aquatic system, and we have a situation that we're at some decision points where we have multiple masters. Some individuals are very interested in water conservation because we are in a historical drought. And granted, I realize that it rained cats and dogs recently, so you know that makes it maybe a little less of a concern. But there's individuals who are really concerned about that.
La Prensa, and I'm here with Angelica Noyola, and she is a community activist. She also works with BODED, and we just heard her speak very passionately at a neighborhood meeting about closing Metz Pool. I was wondering, Angelica, could you please share with us a little bit more about your thoughts on the Metz Pool closing?
Well, as a community member, as a parent, I'm not very happy at all. This community is primarily low income. Even with the gentrification, you have a lot of kids who are coming from the housing projects that are just down the street a couple blocks away, and Metz is their oasis in the summertime. These children do not have access to air conditioning 24/7 because utility bills are so high, no one can afford them. This is where they come, they cool off, and it could mean them getting heat exhaustion or not if they don't have a pool to get into. And it is very sickening to me that the city of Austin would allow all of the 2006 bond money to fix 5 pools within a 2-mile radius on the west side of town and give them nice, pretty amusement park slides and everything else like they're at the SeaWorld Aquatica. But our kids can't get a patch in the pool, so they can just have a square with water in it. And like I said, you know, I'm an environmentalist. I believe in Mother Earth. I believe in conservation. But at the same time, we must draw that line. Where do we conserve? Do we conserve human life, or do we conserve the flower that's on the ground? And when it comes to that pool, it could mean life or death to an elderly person who can't afford their electricity, or a child who needs to cool off. And there's so much money within the city of Austin that could be pulled. The drainage fund, where is that money? If we can pull tens of thousands of dollars from the drainage fund to fund the drainage tunnel down over there on Cesar Chavez Street, why can't we pull that to the swimming pools? You have Martin swimming pool less than, you know, a mile away, and that pool is rented out. If that's supposed to be the alternative for this community, why is it rented out for private parties, swimming instruction, and other activities? Our kids can't even use it, and then they're being charged to use that. Where is that money at? There's been talk there's no money to fix this leak. Well, I ask you, how long was infield leaking before they fixed that? And why did they wait to fix infield after the summer was over? So that community did not go without a pool, because it closed in 2013 at the end of summer. It reopened in 2014 so people could use it for the summer.
Could you explain to me where that pool is? I mean, are you saying that that pool is in the wealthy part of Austin?
It is in the extremely wealthy part of Austin. It's west of Mopac, and you know, East Austin has always gotten the short end of the stick. We've always gotten the little or nothing when it comes to what we need in our community, whether it's housing, whether it's help with utilities, whether it's our parks, our pools. And in the last 3.5 years, we've been fighting a battle to keep our parkland that surrounds this area. The Metz Pool is in the Holly Shores Edward Rendon Senior Master Plan Park area. There's no reason why funds from that master plan could not be diverted to fix this leak. Why should this community, why should our children have to pay the price because city staff did not do their due diligence and did not do their job? We have been paying them with our tax dollars. Well, it's high time that they did what they're supposed to. They don't just owe it to our kids, they owe it to us, the taxpayers. They owe it to me.
Thank you so much, Angelica.
You're welcome.